Hey everybody, it's Samurai7 and welcome to Top 10 Tuesdays! So today's Top 10 will revolve around my top 10 favorite Elite Four members in Pokemon. Now this list has a few rules. 1. I cannot choose any champions as champions. So I can't have Cynthia or Gary or whatever. Nah. 2. I went off of a point system for this, so I'm not going to tell how many points each person got, but whatever. Other than that, this list is my opinion. If you have your own opinion, go ahead and post it, but pretty sure that somebody you love is not on here. That's okay. I still love you, and you still love me. Because these are my opinions. And I know that opinions are wildly fucking hated on YouTube. So let's get straight into this with the vulgarity. Alright, so number 10, Drake from the Hoenn League. Drake to me was always an interesting character because when you got to him, he was at the end of the Elite Four. And he used probably the most overpowered type he could at that time, which were dragons. He had a Flygon, a Salamence, a Seadra, like, his team was impeccably fucking hard. But it wasn't unsatisfyingly hard. It wasn't a bitch to deal with. Okay, maybe a few times. But, the overwhelming fact about Drake is that the challenge is very satisfactory when you overcome it. It's, yes, I finally beat this guy. Instead of fucking finally. Jesus Christ, it took forever. You know? It's that kind of satisfactory, like, I did it! And, his character was all kind of mysterious to me, how he was using Dragon type when he was a Rex Sailor at one point. It makes me kind of admire the guy, just a tad. So, you know, he is down here at the bottom of the list for a reason, and that's because kinda cliche looking. I don't know. I never really like enjoyed Drake as a character, and that's why he's down here. Moving on. Number 9. We have Lance. Now, I know I said I don't have champions, and this is why I put him all the way down at the bottom of the list, because I'm taking him from his Elite Four membership in the Red, Blue, and Yellow games. Because, holy hell, I still have not beat Lance in Red to this day. I've beaten him in Yellow a couple of times, but in Red? Fuck no! Fire Red especially! I can't get past that! What the fuck? He uses a bunch of Dragon types that aren't even Dragon types. He has a Gyarados and a fucking Charizard. Why? Like, it's cool. I love the dragons and all that. And Lance is exceptionally awesome of a character. The storyline that he plays in Gold and Silver, even though I'm not counting him as part of Gold and Silver, he does have a unique character still. He's that I'm not going to give up kind of guy. And he actually rose to a champion, which I feel gives him some credibility to be put on this list. And that's why he's down here at number 9, is because I can't, you know, put champions on this. If I could put him in with his champion status, he'd probably be like 3. But instead, he's chilling all the way down here. Anyway, moving on. Number 8. Agatha from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow as well. Agatha always struck me as kind of an interesting character because she's old and she uses ghost types. Probably gonna turn into one. Sorry, I think the ghost. I apologize. But Agatha was a very unique character to me in the fact that she and Oak had different perspectives. Oak wants to explore and, you know, find new things about Pokemon. Well, Agatha is the brute force. She wants to battle, make her way to the top. And she has. She's the second to last, I believe. Yeah, she's the second to last Elite Four member that you fight. And that holds some really credible stability to me. I find her to be a very fun match with her 3 Gengars. And I don't know. Something about her just sprung me as a good character. Moving on. Number 7. Karen from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Karen and I share a lot of the similar values. She believes Pokemon are more for the person, and that makes you strong. She's a Dark-type gym leader with an incredible sense of style. If you go into her room in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it kind of makes me feel like it's, you know, you're there to fight somebody who's in the pretessence of fashion and style. But overall, the only reason she's on this list, other than morally, is she shares my favorite Pokemon, Umbreon. Yeah, I know it's cop-out, get over it, it's my list. Number 6, Caitlyn from the Unova League. The Unova League was probably one of my favorite leagues because it was so interesting. And Caitlyn is probably one of the most improved characters. She used to be part of the Battle Mansion, I believe. Yeah, the Battle Castle, that's what it was, Castle, in Pokemon Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver's battle facilities. And, you know, she was very shy and timid, and she didn't do a lot of things other than, you know, come down and talk to you. And then in Black and White, and Black and White 2, she's a full flushed out trainer, using psychic types in the Elite Four, no less. It shows off that she really does have battling skill, and that she's great at it. My favorite thing about Caitlyn is the fact that her battle is actually very fun to fight your first time. She has a Reuniclus, a Gothitelle, Musharna, and those three are just by themselves some amazingly talented Pokemon to use as a psychic type. Musharna's got great defense, so the thing can tank and tank. But Gothitelle and Reuniclus were very, you know, they were hyped Pokemon for Black and White, and I kind of enjoyed seeing both of them used on me at once. And the bedscape background that you go up was just absolutely stunning. I find Caitlyn to be my, like, odd man out of the, you know, epics, because her battle was something truly entertaining and beautiful. I'm a man, and I just said beautiful. Deal with it. Number 5. So here's an interesting choice from the Sinnoh League. Aaron was probably one of my favorite battles to fight in Platinum, mainly because of how diverse his team gets. He has a Drapion, a Vespiquen, a Yanmega. You know, he has Pokemon that you wouldn't normally see on a team. He has a Scizor and a Heracross. You know, these are some top fighting Pokemon. He's really fun to battle because if you get stuck and you don't know what to do, it can be hell for you. But if you know what you're doing, you actually end up having a bit of a challenge put on you, and it's the first Elite Four member. He truly leaves a mark, and his hair is fabulous. Like, and the room decor in Platinum was also great, with the log being there. I find myself every time I go into that room just going back and forth in the log for about a minute, just because it's fun, it's satisfying. Number 4, Sydney of the Hoenn League. Now again, Sydney is a really unique choice because he's the first Elite Four member. He's not exactly the strongest person you'll fight, except in Hoenn, he kind of is. He's a really big threat if you don't know what you're going up against. He has an incredibly constructed team. The only criticism I have against his team is his Mightyena. His Mightyena isn't really a strong Pokemon, so it's really easy to take that out. But his Shiftry and his Absol are absolute nightmares if you can't finish them off fast enough. And his Cacturne is a really interesting Pokemon to have on his team. And Sydney just kind of struck me as that, you know, serious kind of gambler type punk that just wants to get the job done, you know? He's somebody that wants to have the time of his life in battle. He wants to show you up and be the star. And I kind of, relate to that in a way. Sydney was always a pleasure getting to fight over and over again in the Hoenn League. It's something I never get bored of, fighting him. Unlike Drake, who I get bored of really easily. But that's why he takes the number 4 slot. Number 3. Koga was such a badass character in Gen 1. In Gen 1, he was this ninja that had invisible walls, and he would trick you with poison and sleep. He had a Venomoth and a Muck or something, and Coughings, and they'd explode, and they'd poison your team. And just, Koga was such a badass character. So, when I was playing through Gold and Silver the first time through, when I found out that Koga, made it all the way to the Elite Four, he had swapped positions, that blew my mind. He had a Crobat that was fast, and it struck you hard. He had an Ariados, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, His team might not be super hard to deal with, especially if you have a Fire type or a Flying type, regardless, because of the bugs. And Psychic wrecks his team, but he's still fun. He's still that badass ninja. He crammed his way all from the 5th gym leader of the Kanto region all the way into the Johto Pokemon League. And that earns him some respect. My number 2 comes from the Unova League. He's probably Grim. That's right, we're talking Grimsley. Grimsley was probably one of my what the hell is this moments in Black and White. Because when I entered the room and I saw the Uprising Slopewell, when I saw the Uprising Slopewell go into this kind of pit room, I'm like, so wait, is this guy a fire type? Should I switch into a water type? And I was immediately brought into a shock when I found out he was a dark type person. His Purloin was a really terrible start, to be honest, but I mean, his Bisharp was incredible. When he got a Sharpedo later in the game, that thing was a nightmare if he started off with something weak to water. The whole team was just incredible. I still remember today taking out his Bisharp and being like, ha! I owned you! Grimsley was just that kind of guy, that just kind of struck me as, that elegant character that loves and passionizes Pokemon. And I feel like that's why he deserves the number 2 slot. Number 1! Chantel of the Hoenn League. Chantel was probably my favorite choice for a Elite Four member ever. Just walking into her room and seeing that purple outlet, I knew straight off the bat, this chick uses ghost types. I didn't even know it was a chick. I'm just like, ooh, a ghost type leader. And then you hear all the crazy sounds and you get hexed up into a bookshelf and you look around and you're like, lots of books, it's a library. And then you walk up to her and she reads you a passage of a battle she had before you. And it's an epic duel. And you find out that she has a passion for not only Pokemon, but for storytelling. She wants her battles to be enticing and overall dramatic. And that's what I felt fighting her. It was a tough fight when I first went into it because I didn't know what I was going to get into. But I loved it. Every second of it, I was narrating my moves, trying to figure out what to do. Chantel left a memorable mark in my head on that battle. For Cofagrigus utterly decimating my abilities. For Golurk being, something that is really strong in defense. It blows my mind still thinking about it and how well of a team she had planned out. And, I loved it. She was probably the most memorable battle I had in Black and White, outside of obvious battles that will be remembered till the end of time, with a certain one-lettered name character. But she just had this resonance of absolute nerd to her, but she loved ghost types, you know? It's just that feeling of absolute connection, of, I like to be smart, but I don't just believe in science. And that's why Chantal made number 1. Thank you all for watching my top 10 Elite Four members. If you gave it a like, that would be great. Comment your top 10, some of your top favorites, top 10, whatever, I don't care. And share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe they'll like it. Credit to the music given in this video goes to Toxic X and Eternity for the remix of the Kanto Gym Leader theme. Glitch X City for the Johto Gym Leader remix. Polak Steve for his metal cover of the Hoenn Elite Four. Kingspan Kings for his cover of Sinnoh. And Dr. Pez at VGM, dash VGM. Dr. Pez dash VGM for his guitar cover of the Elite Four of Unova. Go check out their channels. Links will be in the description below. I've been Number Knight 7, and I love you. Goodbye.